I feel like I give you guys a weather forecast every time I do a video. Alright, we're on our way to the Twin Cities Auto Show. The show historically has taken place at the convention center, but because of COVID last year, obviously that didn't happen. And then they decided to actually do it at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds, outside, more spacious, accounting for, you know, a lot of the safety precautions that, while are not necessarily in place, but still good to have, right? And the other good thing about being at the state fair is the food vendors that are going to be there. So usually the state fair represents a lot of good eats. So looking forward to seeing what it's like to actually have everything set up. They did it in terms of neighborhoods. So like there's a luxury car neighborhood, there is a truck country neighborhood. I typically try to go every year, but this year I have a bit more purpose in mind. Ever since we started RVing, we always think about towing capacities, but one of the things that starts to bubble up as you do your research is payload capacity. When you think about it, a car has to handle more than just the weight of the trailer tongue itself. You gotta handle the person who's driving, me. For our car, it's myself. We have Toby and Henry in the car. We have the cat in the car. Michelle's in the car. And this year, we have Jackson in the car. The vehicle has to handle all the weight that's already in the vehicle, plus the pressure of the trailer tongue on the hitch itself. The Durango that we have comes in at 1,200 pounds, and you know, we're kind of tipping the scale there a little bit. As our lives change, we might be looking for additional payload capacity if we want to have more people to come with us, you know, as Jackson grows up. And that just means that we probably need to start paying attention to our payload capacity more so than our towing capacity. By and large, anything that probably has a higher payload capacity than this car will probably be able to tow our trailer just fine. That's why I'm going to the auto show. We're gonna look at all different kinds of vehicles. The drive's gonna be about, let's see, half of 25 minutes. And we'll see you guys over there. Alright, there's some cloud cover, so hopefully it won't be too bad. There are the Rams. When I bought my Durango, I was actually considering a Ram, but then didn't pull the trigger. And always thought they looked great. You know, if I were to go with a pickup, I'd probably give it a go. These are all locked, so hopefully we'll be able to see some payload stickers today. All right, never looked at Mitsubishi before, but let's take a look. I don't even know what this model is. Here's the payload capacity of this particular one. We came up through the front. It looks cool. Small little SUV. Payload capacity for this Outlander is 1,157 pounds. You can imagine what it could tow if you outfit it. So, you know, probably 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. Man, check out the next generation Tucson. This thing looks sleek. I don't care if you're towing or not, it looks great. 150. It's a nice go-to one. I think this one has the power source thing. Oh no, never mind. I will be quiet. 150 is always a contender. You know it can tow, but let's look at the payload. See, the payload is at 1,657 pounds, so almost 400 pounds. Whoa, never mind the payload. Look at that screen. 400 pounds more than what the Durango can do right now. Here's a Ranger. I don't need to show you this. My dad just got one. Man, look at the Mustang Mach-E. Back to the Expedition. Look at this, where they place it. Oh, right there. 1,745 pounds for your Expedition. I think it's rated to tow around 9,600 pounds, so you guys could do the math. Jeep Grand Cherokee. Not locked. And let's see. Alright, so it looks like 1,050 pounds. This might not have any kind of trailer package included, so always something to look out for. Actually, nope, there's a Class 4 hitch. See, so there you have a Grand Cherokee, probably rated to tow 6,200 pounds if it's a V6, and more if it's a V8. But then your payload is only 1,000 pounds, so realistically, what can you actually put back there? So just something to think about. Here's a Durango. I don't know which one this is. Oh, GT, blacktop, all-wheel drive. This is 3 years after my exact vehicle. And it looks like the payload has stayed the same at 1,200 pounds. Take a look at the Ram Rebel crew cab. Look at this. 1,169 pounds. Actually less than the Durango. So just because it's a pickup doesn't mean it's equipped to do so. F350. Wonder if it's unlocked. Let's take a look. Oh, it's unlocked. There you go. There's some numbers for you. Looking at that towing capacity of 3,335 pounds. Makes sense? This is what you need for your fifth wheels, huh? Aha, here's a front runner in my book. I was looking at the Tahoes last year when thinking about getting a new vehicle, and the new one looks great, so I don't know about the color of this one, but there it is. You got your payload capacity at 1,467 pounds. Here's all your weight ratings. 1,467 pounds. And again, these guys could tow probably up to what? I think probably 9,000 pounds. I live in a world where I probably don't need to tow that heavy equipment. So this is why it's a contender in my book. It's bigger than the Durango. Right, we can still fit our pets back here. I love the fact that I'm getting to do a personal tour right now. I can fit all the pets back here. Jackson has space. Michelle has a seat, right? And we just gained 300 pounds of payload. This thing will probably tow our trailer, no problem. So, and look at that cool exhaust. So, truck-based platform. That's what it's around. That's what it's about. Well, we could wait a few years and buy a late model. I could always buy a CPO. We'll be good there. Let's keep looking. Just gonna check out the new Silverado. Yeah, butterfly. Yeah, towing capacity. 9,300 pounds. And look at the payload. 1,600 pounds.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So like these are half-ton pickups. From a travel trailer standpoint, your half-ton pickups will basically handle a lot of it. It's when you start looking at fifth wheels is when you need to consider upgrading to the super duties, the heavy duties, and what have the 2500s, 3500s, what have you. But for a typical family, your pickup can handle, I would say, roughly 70 to 80% of the travel trailers out there. Kia Telluride. Let's see. A little hard to find. There it is, written very small. 1,173 pounds. That's actually not bad for this. Looks like it's got some kind of towing package. So, presumably, let's assume 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. This could tow our rig, right? I will have to lose some weight to make that payload capacity work, but this could do it. Not bad, Kia. It's the new Carnival. Checking out the new Carnival. Also looking pretty sleek. I don't know what happened here. That's probably a feature. Kia doesn't want you to call the Carnival a minivan. What do they call it? Sports activity vehicle? Something like that. So if it's not a minivan, let's see. Let's go find that number. Man, I don't even know if it shows. 1,323 pounds for not a minivan, which is quite impressive. Obviously, you need that kind of payload capacity for a minivan-like object where you're carrying a lot of passengers. But curious to see how much this tows. I'll take a look at how much this tows, and I'll put that number here. This is the Kia Carnival, brand spanking new. Alright, Kia Seltos. I feel like this is new too. It's a smaller SUV. There you go, that payload capacity, 860 pounds. You know, 2 people with equipment. Let's see, if it tows anything, it's gonna tow probably something smaller. Or you have a cargo carrier in the back, do tent camping. And it looks like they refreshed the Durango too. Alright. We'll take a look. That says 1,032 pounds. And again, I think the Sorrento's, this is a new generation, or at least a mid-cycle refresh, so I'll take a look at towing capacity and I'll put that here too. Toyota. Let's take a look at the 4Runners. Big fan of the 4Runners. Only thing about them, and I don't know if that's changed, is that it's still a 5-speed automatic transmission. I'll look it up, but I have to imagine it's somewhere, towing capacity is somewhere in the 5,000 to 6,000 pound range. One of the coolest things about the 4Runner are these windows right here, the fact that they come down. There's a Tundra, full-size pickup. Been curious about these too. Let's see how these compare versus that Silverado we just saw. Alright, there you go. You got your payload capacity at 1,270 pounds. Spacious. You can imagine the towing capacity on this to be, you know, 10 to 12,000, but
I saw one guy, I was driving home from
that payload, not much more than what the Durango can handle. take a look at the Sequoia. Look at that, they have it equipped with a tent up top, which is pretty nice. Let's take a look. 1,250 pounds for something with a V8 engine, presumably, right? 5.7 liter V8 engine, 381 horsepower, payload at 1,271 pounds. So use the Durango as a benchmark. Engine's bigger, car's bigger, right? Presumably stronger payload. You just kind of have to factor in. You're not going to be able to tow much more if you're carrying your entire family.
Guess what?
You're going to have to do the math. How much is your family weigh? How much are you carrying?
Here's another fun one.
You know, and then the hitch weight on top of that. Volkswagen Atlas. This is a SEL V6, so cross sport, whatever that means. Let's see what it looks like here. 1,080 pounds. You know, and equipped with that Class 4 hitch. Huh. And again, compared to the Durango, a little bit less. So I would assume still, towing capacity usually will round out between 5,000 and 6,000 pounds. Look at this, the brand new Frontier.
There's one of those at our daycare.
$10 says it's locked.
Yeah.
$10. Yep, locked. And the new Titan 2. They all look pretty sleek. They're probably all locked. Yeah. There's a base version of that Tucson that we saw earlier. The back looks like, look at it. It's just gorgeous rear end on the Tucson. Man, the interior is clean. What? 926 pounds. So, again, people carrier. I would show the Santa Fe, I would show some of the others, but Hyundai and Kia are state owned. So they're relatively similar. It's not going to be much different. Subaru. And we could go now. I'd imagine the ratings for the GMCs were similar to the Chevys that I was looking at earlier, so we don't have to dive deep, but it's pretty good eye candy, isn't it? Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I think this is the biggest news out of Jeep in the past year. This is a big boy. Alright. I saw it, but I didn't record it. But the Grand Wagoneer, that payload capacity is at 1,295 pounds. So again, big car, probably more of a people carrier. You have to think about how much pressure your car can handle, along with the folks that you're carrying, the items that you're carrying, as you start to do your research into the trailer that you're gonna buy. All right, we're out of the show. Yeah, hopefully just by me going through it and sharing all the payloads with you guys will help with a couple things. One, give you guys a bit more to consider when you're thinking about your tow vehicle. And you can see, just even with the pickups, just because they're pickups don't mean that they have enough payload capacity to carry you and the weight of your trailer. So keep that in mind. And then two, depending on what vehicle you choose, it'll also impact the trailer that you ultimately pick. I think I'll leave it here for now. I want to find my car. I'm gonna go get lunch and go home. Michelle's been nice enough to take one for the team and hang out with Jackson for a little bit while I come out here. But I like the fact that they did this outside, especially in the summer. And it was nice to walk around outside, you know? So anyway, I really got to focus on finding my car now. I'll see you guys later.